he doesn't remember those who remember him. It is but natural that we very often remember the person for whom we have some feelings, whereas we do not remember the person who is concerned with us. This happens with Bhagwan too. One who constantly remembers Bhagwan is considered as keenly connected with Bhagwan. Also, as we become partakers in all situations of being whom we love, similarly, Bhagwan too becomes the partaker at all joyful and sorrowful occasions in the life of a being who remembers him incessantly. Hence, in the Gita, Bhagwan says, "From the point of view of the essential nature of the universe, all beings are equal to me. Neither anyone is my enemy nor my friend, but so far as the Leela sport is concerned, whosoever worships me and remembers is in me and I am in him." This is to say that Bhagwan does not consider him different from him, but inseparable from him. And that is why Bhagwan does not remember those beings who do not take refuge in him and remember him. For such beings, Bhagwan says in the Gita, "Those insensible, mean-minded, demonic people whose knowledge has been usurped by avidya maya and who are doers of devilish deeds do not come to my refuge. Some people obtain demonic family from birth to birth. Without obtaining me, they finally meet their downfall."
Can you explain?
Yeah. So in this chapter, it is saying that if we remember Bhagwan constantly, in that way we can become more connected with Bhagwan, and so then Bhagwan becomes the partaker of all occasions in our life. Like if we're facing like a joyful occasion or like a sad occasion, he's a part of our life and we need to remember him. And in the Gita it says that Sri Bhagwan considers all beings to equal to him, and this does not mean that beings are different, but they are the inseparable for him. And it also says that Bhagwan don't remember the beings that do not consider him and do not take him in his refuge.
In the last topic, we understood that one who takes refuge in Bhagavan, he gets free from all the happiness and sorrows which we face because of the materialistic objects which are around us. And as we are attached with those materials, we feel that everything is happening with us and everything is happening because of us. But the person who takes refuge in Bhagavan and starts considering that these materials do not belong to me, but they are provided by Bhagwan, and Bhagwan is the owner of everything, and whatever the situations are being created in my life are happening with the wish of Bhagwan only. Now, because of this feeling, we don't have any type of sorrow and happiness in our life. So here it is said that same way, the person who does not remember Bhagwan, Bhagwan also doesn't remember him. Means Bhagwan takes care of the person who takes refuge in Bhagwan. Bhagwan considers the problems of the person who takes refuge in Bhagwan, but not of the problems who are not affiliated with Bhagwan. Now, for example, if we take the example of Prahlad, we find that Bhagwan never let him feel any problem in his life. Whenever his father tried to kill him and whenever he was in any of the problem, Bhagwan protected him. But just consider that what if that same situation is there in our life? We are not that staunch towards Bhagwan that Bhagwan considers our problems. So this is the difference between Prahlad and us, because Prahlad ji was so staunch for his devotion that in spite of the attempts made by his father to kill him, he was not afraid, and he didn't even back out. Means to his father, he never said that, yes, I accept your words, I will not worship Vishnu, and please don't kill me. He never said so. Not even there was a single moment when he was afraid. So here it is said that same way as Prahlad was detached from everything and was so staunch about his refuge in Bhagavan, and therefore Bhagavan protected him. Same way, the person who takes refuge in Bhagavan, Bhagavan protects him. But the person who doesn't take refuge in Bhagavan, Bhagavan also doesn't remember him. And therefore, these two shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, in the first one, Bhagavan says that all beings are equal to him, and there is Bhagavan doesn't consider anyone to be bad or good, because as we are two or three brother or sister are children of their parents, and if any one of them is arrogant, still parents consider them equally. Parents have same love for all the children. Same way as Bhagavan is the creator of this universe, and all the beings and each and every material is created by Bhagavan only. Therefore, Bhagavan is like father for everyone, and therefore Bhagavan doesn't make any difference between two person or two things in this world. But as we love the person who obeys us, same way parents also love the children who obeys them, who respects them, who follows their orders, who take care of all their wish. Same way here also it is said that we, Bhagavan, as parents love the obedient child, same way Bhagavan also loves the child or the Jeev who accepts Bhagavan as the only resort. And on the opposite side, same way the person who doesn't take refuge in Bhagavan, Bhagavan also remains detached with him, and that person just goes on in the cycle of birth and death till the last destruction of Pralay. See here what Mahaprabhuji wants to explain basically is that only Pushtiswadhyay Vaishnava or we are taking refuge in Bhagavan or considering Krishna as our resort and not others. But Mahaprabhuji here wants to explain that it is necessity. Means you don't have any choice, or Mahaprabhuji is not saying that anyone will be benefited with this or you must do this and you will get this benefit. It is not so. But as respecting our parents is our duty, it is inevitable, it is compulsory, we don't have choice. Obeying our parents is compulsory, there also we don't have any choice. Because we are living with our parents, we are living in their house, and they are our caretaker, they have given us birth, and therefore rightfully our life is more of theirs than us, our own self. So same way everything belongs to Bhagavan, and every situation in this world is created by Bhagavan only. Nothing can happen without wish of Bhagavan. So Mahaprabhuji wants to say that therefore taking refuge in Bhagavan, considering Sri Krishna as our Swami or considering ourselves as his slave, this is a necessity. We don't have choice. This is compulsory. Each and every being must consider Bhagavan Sri Krishna as their only refuge or the protector. Mahaprabhuji wants to explain us the necessity and the condition. Because Bhagavan is the creator, so Bhagavan's status is nothing different than as we accept the status of our parents. Continue.
Remember Bhagwan in happiness too. People usually remember Bhagwan in the days of their adversity, but forget him in prosperity. True devotee of Bhagwan does not behave in such manner. Bhagwan considers such people as selfish-minded and not his devotees. Bhagwan considers only that person as his real devotee, who always remembers him, thinking that Bhagwan has given me this happiness even when he is in his happy state. And to summarize, this paragraph is saying that people usually remember Bhagwan when they're facing sorrow, but they don't remember him when they're having like a joyful occasion. But like a true devotee of Bhagwan remembers Bhagwan in both sorrowful times and in joyful times, and he always remembers him, thinking that Bhagwan has given me this even during like a happy state in his life.
So it is not so that we start remembering Bhagwan and taking name of Bhagwan in the condition when we are unhappy. As we see that people in the hospital, when their loved person is ill or is about to die or is in serious condition, people start remembering Bhagwan, people start praying. Same way, whenever we are facing any problem in our life, we start praying Bhagwan. So this is selfishness. Means we are just remembering Bhagwan when we need him, or we want him to help us, and not in those conditions when we are self-sufficient or we are healthy or we are not having any problem in our life. So this is like selfishness. This is like we are choosing in between these conditions. But we must always remember Bhagwan even in our happiness. Means as in sorrowful condition we feel that Bhagwan has to find the solution. He has to solve the problem for us. No, this must not be feeling in our heart. We must not remember Bhagwan for solving our problems, but we must just consider Bhagwan as that even if any sorrowful condition is there in my life, it is happening with the wish of Bhagwan only. And as our parents are our well-wisher and they don't want us to face any trouble in our life, but some troubles or some hardships are necessary for the child to improve. For example, when a small child doesn't like to go to the school, but parents understand that it is necessary for him to go to the school. Same way, we don't like to give any type of hardship to our loved persons, but it is not possible because we need to have some hardships in our life. Only after those hardships we learn something. So these are some necessary conditions, and therefore our parents let us face some problems in our life. They let us face those conditions independently. They don't like to interfere in between and feel that my children would be strong if they face these problems. So same way, Bhagavan also let those consequences pass on from our life, but it doesn't mean that Bhagavan wants us to be sad or Bhagavan wants us to have the troubles in our life. So we during those conditions of pain, during those conditions of unhappiness, in our heart we must always accept that Bhagavan is like my father and mother, and he can never see me sad. And therefore, if there are any such consequences in which we are facing some trouble or we are having unhappy moments, at those moments we must feel that everything is happening with the wish of Bhagavan, and as he is my well-wisher, he will not let me feel any problem in my life. So we must have faith in Bhagavan, and if we just go on feeling this in our heart, all our sorrows get decreased because we feel that everything is happening with the wish of Bhagavan. This is the basic point which Mahaprabhuji wants to explain us, that we must not differentiate between good moments and bad moments, but we must accept each and every moment equally as the wish of Bhagavan. Continue.
No time bar in remembrance of Bhagwan. Unlike an employee, a true devotee of Bhagwan does not consider the worship and remembrance of Bhagwan as his duty, obligation, or custom. He does not believe that the matter ends by uttering Bhagwan's name a few times in the morning, at noon, and in the evening, or daily occasionally visiting religious establishments. The true-hearted devotee believes that the time and the work in which Bhagwan is not remembered, that time is no time, and that work is no work. Hence, one should try to spare as much time as possible for the service and remembrance of Bhagwan, and should not prescribe any time limits for it. Regarding this, Bhagwan says in the Gita, "Hence remember me at all times, even while performing your worldly and Vedic duties. Those who have dedicated their mind and intellect to me will certainly obtain me. Entertain no doubt in your mind." So to summarize, this paragraph is saying that it is important to remember Bhagwan at all times and not just a few times during the day. And in the Gita itself, it has been said that it is important to remember Bhagwan while performing like worldly duties and Vedic duties as well. And you need to dedicate your mind and intellect to Bhagwan in order to obtain him. And when Bhagwan is not remembered, like you need to dedicate like every second to him as well. And so like every time that you're not doing something, you should be focusing on remembering Bhagwan.
Now the thing is that we feel, or generally people feel, that all the religious activities are to be done once in a day or part-time. Means, for example, if we are performing seva of Bhagwan in the morning, then we feel that yes, we have dedicated 2 hours for Bhagwan. Now we are free for fulfilling all the activities which we want to do. And now it is not necessary to remember Bhagwan or just go on performing activities for Bhagwan or do some things which are related to Bhagwan. What we feel that if we are utilizing 2 or 3 hours of our day in performing seva of Bhagwan, then we don't need to do anything else in the whole day. And even if we are free and we are not engaged in any other duty, we at that moment also we don't feel that we must do something, or we must try to worship Bhagwan, or we must try to learn something from other devotees, or we must try to read Bhagavad or Gita or something else to understand more about Pushtiswadhyay and Bhagwan. We don't feel so. We feel that in the time of leisure, we can do all other activities, but we must not utilize that time in performing seva of Bhagwan. So these are some wrong beliefs or some wrong concepts which are in our mind. As in, for example, if on the weekends, what do we do? On Saturday, Sunday, okay, fine. On the 5 weekdays, we are busy with our work. We have to go to the school or college or job or etc. But on the weekends, we are free. But deliberately, we feel that yes, today we are going to have some vacation, or we are going to roam here and there, and we are going to watch movies and going to eat something in the hotel and etc. Now, this is the busyness we are creating deliberately. We were free. We would have spent the whole day in performing seva of Bhagwan. We could have learned things from our parents, from our neighbors, or from the other Vaishnavas which are near us or around us. But no, we don't have such. We don't want this to happen. And we feel that if we are utilizing 2 or 3 hours, then it is sufficient. We don't need to do any more. But it is not so. Bhagavan, we must worship Bhagavan all the time. We must try to utilize maximum of our time in performing seva of Bhagavan. And in 24 hours, we must feel that we must utilize each and every moment in performing seva of Bhagavan. It is not so that we can fix some 2 or 3 hours a day, or 1 or 2 days a week, or once if we are visiting the temple, then we are a great devotee. These are some wrong beliefs. It is not so. It must be like Prahlad, that all the time, 24/7, he didn't used to be concentrated in any other activity other than worshipping Bhagwan. And it was not happening deliberately. He was not doing that with any type of compulsion, but it was just in his habit. It used to happen naturally. So this must be the condition of a devotee, a good devotee. Continue.
Remembrance should be spontaneous and natural. A true devotee of Bhagwan enjoys every incident of his life in this world as the sport of Bhagwan, no matter whether it is pleasant or painful. Therefore, he does not find any difference between a friend and a foe, blame and praise, sunshade and sunshine, honor and insult. Again, it is not for any fear, temptation, or rivalry that such a devotee remembers Bhagwan. Remembrance of Bhagwan is wound up in the life of a devotee as naturally as inhaling and exhaling of the breath. Arjuna is the best illustration of it. Once Parvati requested Shiv to grace her with the appearance of the devotee of Krishna. Shiv brought Parvati to Hastinapur for the appearance of Arjuna. And entering the place, they came to know that Arjuna is taking sleep. Thinking it is not proper for him to wake up Arjuna, Shiv called Shri Krishna. Bhagwan came there and entered the sleeping room of Arjuna to inform him of the arrival of Shiva and Parvati. As Bhagwan's return was delayed, Shiva called for Brahmaji. Same thing happened with Brahmaji. Now Shiva remembered Narad, but there who went inside did not come back. Seeing this, Shiva and Parvati also went to the sleeping room. They were wondered by seeing the amazing scene. There they heard the sound of Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna coming out of every pore of Arjuna's body. Thrilled by his friend's devotion, Shri Krishna was massaging Arjuna's legs. Four-faceted Brahmaji was uttering Vedas and Narad was singing glories of Bhagwan playing upon his veena. Shiva and Parvati felt to have been blessed by having the appearance of such wonderful Krishna devotedness of Arjuna. How good it is if Bhagwan's name is called so spontaneously. So, in this chapter, it is saying that no matter if we're going through a pleasant situation or a painful situation, a true devotee of Bhagwan will enjoy every moment in his life like it is like Bhagwan wishes him to do so. And so remembering Bhagwan should be as natural to a devotee like as breathing. And Arjuna can be seen as an example of this because Shiva and Parvati wanted to see the devotee of Krishna, and when they went inside they saw the sound of like Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna coming like out of every pore of Arjuna's body. And so it is saying that it's good if Bhagwan's name is called at every minute.
Here the concept is that we don't want to say that we must just go on chanting the name of Bhagavan all the time, or we must just go on saying that Krishna is my savior, Krishna is my savior. This is not here the concept is. But what we want to say is that as we don't forget our loved one even for a single moment, we all the time, all the moment, we think about them, we care for them, we remember them. Same way, but if we start loving Bhagwan, we don't need to have any type of intention to remember Bhagwan, or we don't need to have any condition in which we deliberately start chanting the name of Bhagwan, but it happens naturally. because we love Bhagavan. And because of that love, there can't be a single moment when we forget Bhagavan. So this is what the concept is. For that, the story of example of Arjun is given, that Arjun was a devotee of Bhagavan, and there was not even a single moment when he didn't remember Bhagavan, even when he was sleeping, not even at that time, because he loved Bhagavan, and therefore there was not even a single moment when he forgot Bhagavan. So remembrance cannot be not. It is not necessary that it must be in the. It must not be like chanting all the time. We cannot Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam. We cannot do this all the time, 24/7. It is not even expected that we must just go on chanting the name of Bhagavan. But the concept is that there must be no moment when we forget Bhagavan. As if we love a person, we just don't forget them even for a single moment. Same way for our parents, they don't forget their child even for a single moment. Same way, we must consider Shri Krishna as our own. We must love Krishna, and because of that love, there must be not even a single moment when we forget Bhagavan. I think this is clear. If there are any questions, we can discuss them tomorrow. Let us conclude here today.
Danwood